bringing the body down, feeling heavy. This will earth the mind and the body. So a heaviness like an old tree stump is the visual. Stationary, not moving, with deep, lovely roots. Drawing up at the pelvic floor, drawing in at the tummy, sitting up very tall. Shoulders are back and down. Creating space between the earlobes and the shoulders. So shoulders must not be raised. Shoulders must be dropped. Look at your bone here. Look at this bone. Is it on an angle or is it down? Drop the shoulders. This can require some effort in the shoulder blade mid-back region. The intercostal muscles, the muscles in between the ribs. If you hold them down, activate them as you activate the tummy, the neck will lengthen. Okay, to Sukhasana. So you see the legs are in easy pose here. This is the actual final posture. We're going to go into a gentle forward bend and then I'll show variations. Drawing up at the pelvic floor, tummy in tight, and drop the chin to the chest. And here we have performed the 3 Bundalocks or Bundalocks. Pelvic floor is a Bundalock. Tummy is a lock. Throat is a lock. So what we've done is we've sealed the jar. We've sealed the container and we breathe chi into that. So just sitting here is also another valuable posture to work with. The 2 main active parts in this are the tummy and the pelvic floor. We keep them switched on at 100%, yet the head is passive. It's just bowing down, isn't it? So the throat lock, the throat chakra lock, is passive. Once we've held that for a minute or 2, the core muscles will start to waver. We can hold it for a long time, but there's no need for us to hold it for very long. Now we're going to release those strong muscles and we're going to collapse into a forward bend and fold and slouch. Really slouch. All the muscles are soft. And we stay here for 3 deep breaths. Breathing into the rear ribs. Using the diaphragm to squeeze the air out. Breathing in. And out via the nostrils always. And inhale. And all the while allowing the back of the neck and the upper back to soften and lengthen. That's why we're staying here. To surrender the shoulder girdle, which is everything from shoulder to shoulder, and release the neck. Now, with soft belly, continuing hands on the ground. Can we get our hands on the ground? Can we go further? So this is a starting point for a lot of people, and this might be a starting point for a lot of people. So wherever your students want to go, this is where they go to. This might be an option. This might be as far as they can go. They might have very, very stiff hips. But those of us that have been doing it for a while will go all the way down. And have a lovely stretch here. Another lovely variation of this would be head on the ground and hands resting on the back. Just resting on the back. Very nice. Breathing into the rear ribs. Wherever the arms are, maybe they're just here. And we'll continue on with the variation. We're going to rotate to the left. Anchoring the right hip. Push the hip down as you hang the head down. Actually, I know this is a backward video, so I'm going to go to my right, so you think it's your left. Okay, so we're going to the left. Good thing I remember that. Hang the head down, anchor the right hip, breathe into the right rib cage. Soft round belly, breathe into the right rib cage 3 times. Continue to relax the neck. Relax the tummy. And slowly we'll transition over to the other side. Now, if you're not limber, this is what this will look like. You can go from there to there, can't you? But I'm going here. And breathing into the left rib. So you feel those muscles stretching. When you feel the muscles in here stretching, you know you've stretched your ribs. Ribs don't have muscles, but the muscles in between them are intercostal muscles. If you've ever eaten ribs, you know what I mean. I've never eaten ribs. And so lovely deep breath into those rear ribs and slowly rotating around. And relax there for another minute and slowly coming up. And what I recommend we do is change sides just for a minute. We don't have to do the whole side to side here. I just want you to change sides. Excuse me, I have hair in my mouth. So we're just going to sit here for a minute and continue to draw up at the pelvic floor. And because we've changed sides, the dynamic in the hip, knees and ankles is very different. So we want to keep that balance going. All right, so just sitting here for a minute before we move on to the next posture, which is a variation of this. Before I do go on, if your clients cannot bend their knees comfortably, they will do this or this. It doesn't matter. What does matter is that they don't injure themselves. Okay, Padmasana, Ardha Padmasana. Ardha Padmasana, half lotus. Padmasana is lotus, which is the full lotus, but I'm going to teach you the half lotus first. So we start where we were, in Sukhasana, sitting up tall. We bring the feet further in. We simply lift one foot onto the inner thigh and rest there. And we lift up and hold it, palms open or palms down. This is receptive, getting feelings from the universe. I have my palms up always because I want to get insights from source. Our hands and fingertips are extraordinarily receptive. Or you can do that, which is actually more restful. You're closed. You're closed for the day. You're not getting any more information, apart from obviously the brain and the upper chakras. We have great chakras. Lots of energy going up there. Lots of insights. So what I've got here is one foot here and one foot there. And the other foot there, tucked away. Now, a lot of people can't do this. I've been doing this for 20 years and my ankle is very, very supple. So what I'm going to show you now is the easy variation. We put the block in front at a comfortable place, and we let our students practice this way. Don't do 2 legs at a time, they'll fall back. The point is, here we are getting a good rotation in the hip, so it's not just the foot that's doing the work, it's all of the hip, it's all of these muscles. We've got the gracilis, we've got the adductors, we've got the abductor, all kinds of muscles on the inner leg and the outer bum, very, very tight. We've got all of the knee tendons and ligaments that get very tight. So this is impossible for a lot of people, but they might be able to do that. And I'm going to do it on the other side just to balance my body. Whenever we're demonstrating, we must take care. We always go to the other side because we're electrical beings. It's kind of like if you only do one side, you've only got two tyres inflated. It's a really strange analogy. Okay, so that's, excuse me, that's my morning cough. That's half lotus, Adha Padmasana. Adha Padmasana. Let's do full lotus. And this takes a little bit of demonstrating because very few people can do full lotus easily. For lots of reasons, not necessarily because of tightness in the hips and knees and ankles, because I was reminded the other day of how it felt for me many years ago when I got that second foot up. The pressure of that foot pushing on that underdeveloped muscle back then was painful. So it's a common experience for it to hurt in ways you don't expect. So it's very important that people are taught how to do this properly and recommended that they don't do it at all. Certainly no one with bad knees would ever do this. If you got them to do this, it would be almost criminal. We've got to look after our students because they don't know, they trust us. Okay, so I'm going to go side on to demonstrate how we teach people to get into this. I'll take my giant moonstone off because it might break my glasses or my teeth, heaven forbid. Okay, so I'm going to go into kind of happy baby mode. What's relevant about this? This is called happy baby. I love this. Oh, I'm just going to stay here for a minute. What I love about this is the pelvis is off. It's not on the ground. My pelvis is not on the ground. If it were, I wouldn't be able to reach my feet. My pelvis is off, and I'm almost about to roll over into halasana, but I'm not going to. So because the pelvis is off, I can manipulate my legs in a different manner. It's very unusual. I discovered this years ago. This is all mine, by the way. So one foot goes in, tuck it in, all the way into the crease. And then, because the pelvis is off the ground, somehow the knee and the hip rotate better. And that just sits in nicely. You can't see it. I'll do the other leg, and I'll do the other leg first. Right. That leg goes in first. Oh, that's hurt. That hurts. I've got metal in that leg. And that leg goes in second. Can you see my foot? There you are. It's there. So the difference between this posture and the last one is that both feet are on my thighs now. There they are. It's proof. It's actually really uncomfortable. I'm going to go back to my comfortable side, which is this one first, and then this one. So we all have a comfortable... Oh, maybe that was the same side. It's so funny. Okay, which side do I like? I think I like this side first. And if this is still hurting... No, that feels good. Okay, I had the wrong ankle. Now, once we have achieved this, the immediate and advanced students, then there's a little bit more work to do. Okay, first of all, let's get that knee down. Okay, that's a bit of work that we need to do. We need to lengthen the musculature from the inguinal ligament. This is here in the hip where everything's joined. It's a little tiny stretchy ligament, and if it's ruined, you're dead. It's like the ring road in Melbourne, having a 10-car pile-up. We don't want to ruin this ligament, so we want to keep our whole hip flexor psoas muscle area, where the pelvis and the legs join, soft and open. It's a lot of good stretches to do that. Walking does it. Walking upright, no hunching. Okay, so we want to stretch those muscles in the inner thigh, all the way up to there. That can take a little bit of work. If these muscles aren't elongated regularly, just through regular yoga, we will get hip issues. We will. We need to loosen everything up. Everything needs to be working. Okay, now the work here is to grab the foot, make the feet a little bit, if you can, get them in there. What I'm trying to do, and I won't be able to do it because my metal in my leg is actually preventing me from doing a lot of these things these days. It just doesn't go. It doesn't hurt that much. It'll hurt later. What I'm trying to do is to get my knees in further. So now they're going out there, yeah? What if I got them coming in, maybe 10, 20 degrees? So that would be one leg and the other leg would be there. That's the work. And it's not easy. It's not easy at all. If you have students that really want to do this, tell them they're not ready and remind them that if they did this on the floor with their Netflix on every night, they might be ready in 6 months. But students need to be told by the person they're paying. When they pay us, it's an indication on a metaphysical level that they trust and are going to listen to us. So we have to know the information. We have to know what to tell them. We have to say, no, you're not ready, darling. You'll hurt yourself. Okay? I'm just going to do that again on that leg. And obviously, let's just go through the list of benefits in these postures. Obviously, they're hip openers. Obviously, it's good for the knees. Obviously, it's good for the ankles. Why do I say obviously? Because everything that feels stretched is what it's for. There's no accidents here. Everything that feels like it's stretching is what this is for. It's to create all kinds of awareness of the lower chakras. It's a very, very potent posture. We all need to be getting on our bums more. Okay, moving on to Paschimottanasana. Paschimot. I'll do it on an angle so my legs don't look giant. Tummy in, pelvic floor. Curls toed up. Toes curled towards my knees. Now, as I curl my toe, as I move my toes back towards my knees, look what happens. My heels come off. And this is because my calf muscles and my hamstrings are very long from years and years of yoga and ballet. And this happens to a lot of people, whether they've been doing yoga and ballet at all. What I want you to look at now is my heels. Now they're on the ground. But my knees feel a little bit bent. But this is a better posture than that. Okay? We don't want the heels flowing. We want you to try and straighten your legs. Try and push the heels down and the thighs down and the knees down as well. Okay, from here, sitting up tall, pelvic floor lifting, tummy in, shoulders back and down. Create space from the ears and the shoulders. So really, really elongate this space by tucking the shoulders back and down, and hands on the legs and slowly going forward and keeping the spine straight. Some people will stay there. That's far enough. Some people will go all the way. I don't want to see this. If the person has a short hamstring, they'll have to do that. So therefore, they don't go forward. They only go forward as far as they can in Paschimottanasana with a straight back. So forward, 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 and then we fold. We put our hands over our feet, still straight back. So this is a very typical Iyengar posture. Now let's do the softer version of it, the more yin version of it. It is a hunched spine and it's completely relaxed. And a lot of people will find that they've got really short hamstrings and they can't go any further than this. So you know what I get them to do? I get them to do this instead. Because at least this way, they're getting a really good back stretch without getting too anxious in the beginning of class. In the beginning of class, we want to make people happy and content. We want to make people feel, oh, my body's doing great. But if you give them a posture like Paschimottanasana, you know, this style, they're not going to enjoy it. They're not going to enjoy trying to fold down because it'll be agony. So cut them some slack, give them really easy baby options for beginners, always. Upavishta Konasana. Side splits. Upavishta Konasana. Also known as wide angled forward bend. Okay, again, sitting up tall, tummy in tight, feet are active as they were in the last posture and going forward. Now, most people won't be able to go any further forward than this. In fact, some people, I'll go on an angle again. In fact, some people will be so uncomfortable here, they might just be here with their legs slightly bent. It might be really uncomfortable for them. And I'll look around the room and say, I'll look at the people whose legs are bent and whose groins are tight and they're struggling. And for those people, I say, just rest in this. Don't do any more work. Hands behind your back, because they can strain their groin. And they can not be working for the whole week because we've strained their groin. So we need to cut them some slack, lots of it. For those that can go forward, do go forward. The idea is to get the nose on the ground. And if you can, back, hands on the back. It's lovely. I say nose on the ground because that creates a straighter spine than head on the ground. If we're going to put the head on the ground, we're going to create a curved neck. See that? If you put your nose on the ground, it means that you're lengthening in the thymus area. We want to always lengthen here. It's really important. Okay, enough. And lastly, Janu Shirshasana. Okay. Bring the left leg in, left arm up, rotate around, and drawing into the pelvic floor. Drawing up at the tummy. Shoulders down. If you can't do this with your arm, do that. Don't do this. Don't let anyone do this or this. We want to have an active arm. We want chi, where our body is electric. So anywhere is good. The end goal is there. But that's not a posture. That's nothing. Okay, lift up. Stretching the skin on the left side of the ribs. Stretching, stretching, stretching pelvic floor, tummy, and fold. Now, the people with long hamstrings will get their hand on their ankle or calf. We don't care about the toes. We don't want to see how low you can go. It feels nice. I'm more interested in getting a good back stretch. So for people with long hamstrings, we can already stretch the hamstrings. Let's not overstretch them. Right hand is wherever you want it to be. Left hand on right leg. Look at your arm. I want it to create a right angle, or a letter L. And this indicates that we've released the shoulder, whereas in the Iyengar postures, we're crunching the shoulder, we're crunching the neck. I turn my head to my right, my nose touches my arm. It's not right. We want to move the arm away from the face. We want to have distance, space, so that the ligaments and tendons have room to move freely, and then folding forward. Now, for someone who cannot do this comfortably, there's no way she's going to do this with a short hamstring. This is the very easy alternative. And this is a very restful posture, even for people that are fit and well and limber. Just by placing your head on your knee, you have a beautiful posture, which is not the same as the other posture, but it is a beginner's variation. And we must be kind to our beginners, especially if they're over 50. Menopausal women are really struggling and they come to yoga to chill, not to be made more hot, not to be made more anxious. It's a thing. We've got to help these ladies relax. So relaxing here or relaxing there. Now if we are here, we're going to rotate over to the left knee. Slowly rotating. Looking at the left knee, hands either side, pushing the right hip down, bow the head and breathe length and breadth into your right rib cage. We want to create more space all the way down the right side of the body. We did it a few minutes ago on the forward bend stretch. We're going to do it again now. And if you can you get one elbow down? Or that elbow, or that elbow, which changes the dynamic a little bit, or both elbows. Hang the head down, and coming back around, and hold it there for a moment if you wish, and coming up, and changing legs. Sitting up tall, right leg in, therefore right arm up. Reach for the ceiling, stretch the skin. However, if this is impossible, bring the arm down. Do not bend the arm. And when you're ready, pelvic floor lifting, long, 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 long. Reach, reach, reach for the sky, for the ceiling. I'm reaching up and fold. Place the hand on the outer calf. Looking at that right arm, is it a right angle? Make it a right angle. And because the right angle is there, this means this space is clear. It's not all crunched like this. All those years of Iyengar, I used to get a tight shoulder and tight neck, and then I thought, I'm really squeezing that spot. So now it's open. I've opened it up. Okay, and it's also nice work on the arm. So we're using the arm and the leg as a lever. We're leveraging it. Okay, from here, we're going to rotate around, anchor that left hip, both hands either side of the right knee, bow the head down. Keep the tummy and the pelvic floor active and breathing. Can you get one elbow down? Can you get the other elbow down? Both elbows down. Hang the head down. And rotating around to the front. Slowly coming out of that. And remember, if the ladies can't do that with straight leg, this is the path. A lovely, soft, restful position. I'm sure if you practice that, you will really enjoy it. Okay, and where are we now? Okay, the two twists I'm going to do in another video. Thank you for watching. Love you.